National Championship. Sponsored by APTA membership, the APTA's national sponsors, Viking and Paddle Pro, and local sponsors, Joe Quintillion and Distributed Capital Partners, Signature Premier Properties, D'Addario and Company. I'm Mark Fish, along with Patty Hogan, bringing you this blockbuster quarterfinal match between our number one seeds and two-time defending champions, Johan Durant and Stephen Mitchell. They're going to be playing against our number 6 seeds, Brian Compton and Graham McNerney. Patty, welcome to the booth. Want to introduce the players?
Sure, on the far side, on the left side of the court, that would be the one and only Johan Durant, possibly our game's greatest men's player ever. His partner, Stephen Mitchell, plays the ad court on the near side. On the left side in the ad court, that's Brian Compton. And then we have Graham McNerney out of the deuce court. McNerney, Atlanta, Chicago to Pittsburgh now, and Compton is Chicago. We have our Boston representation far side, Mark. This is going to be an incredible match. As everyone knows, Durant Mitchell, last year's national champs, looking to go for a three-peat. They've lost one match this year, Mark. Semis, Chicago. Who'd they lose to, Mark?
Araya Parsons.
Ugh, I knew I could not stump you. I was trying. Yeah, Mark, this is amazing. When we looked at all the quarterfinal matchups, you and I had our fingers crossed that we'd get this one. This is going to be a real jewel. I mean, I consider this is an intriguing matchup.
Well, let's talk about the players. I mean, not much of an introduction needed for Durant Mitchell being who they are and having won last 2 nationals. And I think I'm a little more willing to go out on a limb and say Durant is the best player who's ever played the game. With all apologies to Richie Mayer, who's here, and Steve Baird. But Compton McNerney are a fascinating team. Compton made semis and nationals at Pittsburgh with Scott Kaler. He's a great striker of the ball off of both wings, moves really well, volleys well, has often been thought to be a guy that can win a nationals. And that's Brian in the white hat. His partner, Graham McNerney, who's got the hat backwards. I like to describe Graham's game as greater than the sum of the parts.
Okay.
He just understands the game and puts himself in places to win points. And just, one of the best net players in the country. Great overhead, great hands, volleys like a demon, and just kind of does a lot of blitzing and just generates offense in different ways, and also knows exactly what he's got to be doing out there on the court. So that's what's going to make this so much fun. These teams played twice this year. In Detroit, it was a 3rd-set breaker won by Durant Mitchell, and then they beat them in straight sets in Boston in the quarterfinals. But Compton McNerney looked great last night and an absolute demolition of Kaler Lefevre.
I heard that was just an incredible matchup, and Nathan said to me he was just shocked at how well they played. They sort of thought, everyone knows about Compton's two-handed backhand, Mark. They say that's one of the best shots in the men's game. McNerney, as you said, is quite the playmaker. I mean, he'll throw up a million lobs. These guys know how to control tempo of play, and I mean, I think if anyone is going to beat Durant and Mitchell, they've got to be able to control the pace of play, and I think that Compton and McNerney can do that, Mark. So I find this matchup intriguing. Mark, we've got a third set in the other quarterfinal. I see you have your eye out over on that. We've got.
Well, let's first talk about the setting here at Patty at the Huntington Country Club. I think it's the prettiest setting in platform tennis. They have 5 courts in a hollow, so the courts are somewhat protected from the wind. Fans are ringing the courts all the way around. It's created a great atmosphere. The sun is still somewhat of an issue for you and me. Forget about the players.
Definitely.
It's still an issue for you and me. And it's just a gorgeous setting, and it's fun to see. All the players who finished playing, Adam Morgan's up there. Mark Parsons is sitting here watching.
I love it. You just go through the crowd, and you go through, and every third person we're fortunate enough to know out here. And the other 2 people I think I've met today, Mark, great fans of platform tennis out here on Long Island. Pittsburgh semifinals, Kaler and Compton. Do you remember that one?
I do remember that one. I was doing the other match.
Okay.
I was doing the Broderick Palmer Hughes Powers match.
That's when that was the first time I got a real appreciation for Brian Compton's game. I was just floored at how good he was.
They're going to play slowly today. And there's the McNerney Blitz, which is such an effective one.
And Durant and Mitchell know exactly what McNerney and Compton are going to do out here, Mark.
There's a great cut overhead from Durant finishing the point. Oh, around the net from Durant. First game. Did that ball get more than 2 inches off the ground, Patty?
It did not. He made sure no one could get that ball back.
Big drive through there from Compton takes us back to 40-30. Deuce. Another miss for Mitchell. So, chance to break right off the bat. Patty, you surprised that Mitchell's serving first?
I am shocked he's serving first, and I'm amazed that McNerney and Compton started on the opposite sides from what they've been playing.
It may be that Compton's just more comfortable returning that sidearm serve from the Deuce court as they switch again in the course of play.
Has Johan ever not started a match, Mark? I don't think I've ever seen him serve second.
Certainly unusual. Well, Johan Durant wanted to cut that one, but Mitchell stepped in the way.
Mark, are Durant and Mitchell pressure? Like, are they bulletproof on pressure, do you think?
Can I say yes and no?
You can. Can you explain that?
Last year at Nationals, no question, Mitchell had some problems with his serve in the big pressure moments. He's had some faulting in the rain. Durant is bulletproof at everything as he misses that ball, and one love Compton McNerney as they win the first game.
And maybe because of Mitchell's serve a little bit, Mark, does Johan say, take the ball, just serve, let's go, start us out?
Certainly a possibility, and in addition to the myriad of his other talents, Durant is a wonderful partner. After all, he put up with Parsons all those years.
And the sun is a factor, definitely serving on this side, Mark, and I wonder if that, if Johan just said, it doesn't matter, I'll take the sun.
Okay, so not sure what we're waiting for here. Still talking. Looks like Brian Compton's going to serve. Taking a practice serve with, and it looks like they're starting off with McNerney back against the Durant return, which is unquestionably the best in the country. Rare return miss.
Pretty smart play to not give Johan a target, eh, Mark?
Yep. Just no point, especially in the warm weather like this, Patty. And as the match unfolds, we're going to talk more and more about that. How do you think weather like this, I mean, it's got to be 65 degrees here at Huntington Country Club. How do you think weather like this affects the play?
Mark, I've been actually amazed all day. I've not seen it impact that much. Like, I thought a lot of balls were popping the other day, where I feel like everybody's controlling the volleys. I haven't seen, people miss volleys if that was a nervous volley miss from Mitchell, I got to say. I don't think that was weather impacted.
But clearly the warm weather negates some of the benefits of being at the net. Harder to control the overheads, many more drive opportunities, balls coming out higher.
I was thinking your question was going along the lines of, does it favor someone out here? I think the warmer the weather, I think it does favor Compton McNerney, Mark.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%, Patty.
Okay, I think that's where you're going with your question, so I was...
Yeah, I mean, Durant Mitchell spend 75, 80% of the match at the net. And to me, the colder the weather, the more valuable the net.
Really an odd start here for Mitchell.
And there it is. Borussia Doy advanced to their second consecutive national semifinal with a 6-3 in the third win over Bostrom Le Pavere. Compton serving 40 love. And one of the things that Compton's doing differently, which I really like, is he's going after that serve, even though they're staying back. Wow, Durant Mitch is that one, and that is two sloppy games from those guys.
Dream start, McNerney and Compton, Mark. Really an odd start to this match for Durant Mitchell.
And then Durant faults.
So I'll go back to my question, Mark. I don't care what anyone says, how good you are. When you're at nationals, there's pressure out here, and you can see in McNerney and Compton. They came out here with probably 7 different game plans, Mark. Wouldn't you agree? And we know McNerney's student of the game. These guys are here to win this match, Mark, and I think that's huge. They've got, we always talk about it. Do they believe they should win this match?
Absolutely.
They do. That's an example of McNerney's volley right there, just rock solid, real still, keeps those hands, no movement in the hands.
And there you see McNerney bothering him with the blitz again.
McNerney was channeling his inner Johan on that play, Mark.
I mean,
Just
Patty,
disruptive at the net.
You talked earlier about pressure. And I think the higher your seed, the greater the pressure is. I mean, Durant that came here, they're the overwhelming favorites to win this tournament. But with that comes a lot of pressure.
It does. They lost one match this year. You have Hanish Zabori in the women's game, not lost one match. There's a lot to handle if you're those teams coming into this. And I don't know, Mark, I think this format where they play over the course of 3 days, I think it does favor, I think it just lets that pressure grow over a longer period of time. It used to be you play Saturday and Sunday for nationals. If there was pressure coming in, you actually didn't have time to think about it because you were on the court all the time, where I think here with 3 days you have much more time to think about it.
The other thing that's interesting about the 3-day format is Durant Mitchell are the best team in the country at finishing people off quickly. And that advantage is mitigated with the 3-day format.
Mark, that's a great point. And because these matches got played last night, the prior round, Mark, I mean, these guys are all fresh. This is a long day to wait to jump on the court here for this quarterfinal.
And an unusual format where you're playing only one match at nationals.
Well, I'm sure you touched upon it before. The forecast was just today was going to be a nightmare. It turned out to be a beautiful day, no rain here on Long Island.
There Durant went overhand with the serve, hit the hard overhead, and Compton had a big swing at it, tried to hit him and missed. Another miss from Compton McNerney, and that'll give him a game point. Again, Durant overhand.
What a volley, Mark.
He makes it look so easy. You and I had the pleasure of doing the finals of the Philadelphia tournament, which is a spectacular match with Fraser Morgan, and Durant's volleying that match was absolutely sublime.
But you talk about Fraser Morgan, I mean, they had a great win this afternoon over Parsons and Araya. Araya, a little bit of an injured calf, Mark. Real competitive first set. Not so much the second set. Morgan and...
Oh! McNerney takes one off the back, and that's 2-1. I think John Lubau is getting that ball for us. Thank you, John.
So what I was just saying, Mark, Morgan Fraser, I mean, again, you talk about McNerney and Compton. They came here to win nationals. Fraser Morgan, they've got that look in their eye as well, Mark.
Well, they lost 7-6 in the third to Durant Mitchell in Philly. They beat him in the Baird Cup pretty badly on Thursday. So they think they can win, and we see Hughes Powers coming out, our number 4 seeds, and they're going to be facing Rams Wagner. So Graham McNerney to serve, 2-1, first set. This looks like they're staying back. McNerney serve as well.
I love the play, Mark. I think just stay back. Just take his return to serve out of play. It doesn't set up anything for Durant Mitchell and, you know, Compton McNerney. I just love their plan right out of the box here tonight.
A surprising miss from Durant. 15 love.
And look at this, how deliberate Compton and McNerney are. Every single point, Mark, they're leaving nothing to chance.
See McNerney talking to him there. Interesting, they're staying back against Mitchell too. But that goes to the pace of play they want to play, which is what you mentioned, Patty. Oh, there he follows it in, and a little bit of luck there, because if that ball goes over, he's in huge trouble. 30-15.
I just like all the different looks, Mark. I think it's a great approach. I mean, God knows what works against Durant Mitchell. Obviously, no one's had success except one match this year and taking them out. So I love how thoughtful their approach is here.
Huge forehand there.
Can you move him? You go. Almost.
Okay. Game Compton McNerney. They lead 3-1 first set. So far their game plan has been absolutely perfect, Patty. We're getting some misses. I mean, the slow pace of play. You're seeing some misses from Durant Mitchell.
Mark, slow. This is quicksand-like right now.
Glacial? Quicksand. Is quicksand slow or is it fast? I'm not sure of that analogy.
Oh, you're going down slowly.
You're going down
I think
slowly.
it's slow. I feel like it's really slow. This is perfect for McNerney Compton. Do you agree, Mark?
Yeah, I think they've got to play this way.
That's why, you know, the buzz all day when people are talking about this match. It's like, what are they going to do? I said, I think they're going to be so deliberate and so slow. And this match might not be over by midnight.
But Compton is taking his cuts when he's got them. He's being judicious.
Well, he's got to, right?
Yeah.
That's their offense.
Right, but to me, that's the distinction between the way Broderick Christian played him at Boston, where they were really trying just to bore them, where they had cuts and they didn't take them. And Compton is going to be taking his cuts, as we've seen in the first 4 games. And McNerney loves that down-up overhead.
Mark, we've talked about the different strategies, the different approaches to this game. You know, teams got to go with what's in their gut and how they can perform the best way. So, you know, if Broderick Christian play one way, you know, it's
nothing wrong with it.
No, not at all. I'm
Right.
just saying very few people can play that way. You have to have extraordinary discipline
I think
and
there are
skill.
only 2 people that can play that way, the way Broderick Christian played. But the way that Compton McNerney playing is different. Love 30. I mean, there you saw McNerney beat him with a drive, and Durant now is saying, okay, enough of this. Oh, McNerney was right there looking for the drop shot, and he missed it. 15-30.
I love the choice, though. That's a great miss, Mark, I think.
Agreed. And there you see Durant shifting over to the left side of the net to hit more of the overheads.
Mark, so Durant's not going to go after McNerney at all in that deuce court? Oh, here we go. So I know that's the danger of it. I was just waiting for that shot.
Oh, there's the drop shot,
See,
Patty.
that's what I'm saying. He had the right shot a point ago. I thought it was a great miss because he's got to do that.
Well, as we talked about earlier, he's one of the best in the country at the net. He's got great hands. Overhead is terrific. And just a really smart player. I think in terms of overall production, he's probably the best player in the country at getting out of what he gets out of his talent. Probably put Adam Morgan on that list too.
Say that again, Mark. Explain that, please.
I think that in terms of his physical abilities, I mean, McNerney does not have a big forehand, but he just gets the most out of what he's got. He plays the game to his abilities, which is essentially what the game is all about, right? Not all of us can be Johan Durant. I mean,
exactly.
Maybe you, but not me.
Right. McNerney didn't come out of the womb with a two-handed backhand like Compton. He didn't have that offensive weapon. And against this level of play, it's not even, it doesn't pay off for McNerney even to bring the forehand drive into play that much. It's not part of their, you know, the tactical way that they're approaching this match. And it's really just not how McNerney plays that much.
Yep. And there's an example of a ball that they should have lobbed and gotten out of the way, and Compton got baited into driving it. Missed lob. A couple of opportunities there gone by the wayside for Compton McNerney. Back to deuce. A little bit of a sloppy game. This could be our turning point, Patty. 1-3, 15-40. Point for 2-3 now. Great call from Durant. And normally you don't want to be calling your partner's sideline, but when you're Johan Durant, you can do anything you want.
Yeah, exactly. Mark, your earlier point, we were talking about the temperature, who it impacts, who it favors out here, and we said, you know, the warmer weather definitely, we think, favors Compton McNerney out here. You know, in the cold weather, we're used to seeing Durant just work, you know, his wizardry of overhead variety that's just phenomenal and spins all over the place to open up the court. And you're not seeing You're not seeing those offensive kind of overheads for the most part yet from Durant.
Okay, so 3-2. Compton McNerney. Opportunity gone by the wayside there. How many points, Patty, have we seen with Compton McNerney at the net?
Not too many.
Is that a technical term? Not too many?
Not too many. Fewer than 5, Mark. But, you know, the interesting thing is McNerney and Compton have the pace of play that, you know, they really want, and it's only 3-2.
Yeah, they really missed an opportunity that last game.
I kind of feel that. I just feel like Mitchell and Durant are just going to get more and more comfortable as this set goes on. The sun is still a factor, I think, over on this side, Mark, for especially where Stephen Mitchell, he's looking right into it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Looks like that whole part of the court is in shade. One of the things that's happened the last handful of points is we haven't seen Compton McNerney taking too many cuts, which they were doing earlier. And that could be a result of Durant Mitchell giving them fewer opportunities, or they're passing up the opportunity that they have, because they're going to have to take some cuts.
And I actually think Graham's going to have to take a cut, Mark.
Now that's a change in strategy there against Mitchell. With McNerney's coming in, and there he was kind of 3/4 of the way in. Here's what we talked about. We just have not seen any of these points.
See, right here, Mitchell is battling the sun right on that side mark down there. I don't think he had great visibility right there. I didn't mean to leave you, Mark, but visibility's low in the announcer's booth here. Sorry.
Oh, Durant pegs him in the head with a hard overhead. Great play by him. Sensed he was in tight. And that overhead's very effective when you're in close or when you're deep in the court. Misses that one. 30 all.
It's okay.
Big cut overhead there from Durant. So it's 3-2, 30 all.
Mark, we switch balls after 7 games, and you saw that ball have a little bit more of spin coming off Durant's paddle there. You know, as it loses the flocking, I think that helps the overhead spin a little bit.
And we're just not seeing Compton McNerney take any cuts at all. And when you do that, eventually you're going to miss a lob. It's going to be a nick, a seam, something. Point for 3 all. Misses the serve long, and we're back to 3, and you kind of feel like Compton McNerney missed a huge opportunity, Patty.
I feel like they did miss an opportunity. And Mark, one more thing about the ball. What I meant was, you know, when it loses the flocking, I feel like when you're the baseline player, you lose a little feel for the ball. So I think it does then favors the net team. They'll switch after, you know, every 7 games here. But you just saw a little bit more, you know, spin coming off Durant's paddle. And you know, when he works his magic, he just opens up the court, you know, when he wants to, at will.
And it's such a fine line Compton McNerney are walking. But right now I think they're on the wrong side of it, playing too slowly. But there you can see Compton taking a rip at the forehand, and those are the ones I think they've got to take some swings at.
Yeah, and I think they've got to...
Great backhand by Compton.
Sure, and I think they've got to test the volleys. I mean, these guys haven't been flawless in their volleys in this match. We had a couple of loose volley errors earlier.
There we go, couple of swings.
What a compact little return to serve. Right at Mitchell at the net.
What a pickup from Durant. McNerney loading up with that spin, lower body. They're going to try and find Mitchell as much as they can here.
You mean you don't want to play Durant?
Oh, great get from Compton. Way to hang in the point. Actually, that was a ball Compton could have taken a big cut at and chose not to. But there's the conundrum.
Yep.
To play too fast and you get to play right into Durant's hands. Play too slow, you don't generate any offense at all. 15-30. Oh,
And I
another
love
amazing
where
pickup.
McNerney went with that. Even though Durant got it, I love that he kind of pulled the trigger up the middle. Love that play because he could follow it in. Kind of predictable where the next shot would come to or would go.
Wow,
Oh boy.
that was a sitter Durant
Oh
missed.
boy. I'm surprised Durant didn't literally tag one of those guys on that shot.
Okay, 15-40. Boy, Durant yells no, and the ball's in by a foot.
It's good Mitchell didn't listen to him.
Mitchell did listen to him and let it bounce.
Well, I mean, but yeah. He still went for it, Mark.
There's this switch in the backcourt. Look at the spin Durant's generating. What a lob from McNerney. Another huge moment in the match, Patty. Chance to get up 4-3. They've got to take advantage of these opportunities. They've already let a couple go by the wayside. Hard roll from Compton, looking for that nick. Oh, great ball from Mitchell. And Compton misses the transition shot.
Yeah, he'd have a little better awareness right there. Durant was closing in on top of the net.
30-40, another opportunity. I really think this is a must game for Compton McNerney to set. You just can't keep missing these opportunities against Durant Mitchell. You're just simply not going to have that many.
There we go.
2 misses in a row from Compton. We're back to deuce.
But I like that McNerney took a rip on that ball, Mark.
Absolutely, right swing. Oh, there's a change in pace from McNerney.
Yeah.
And he beats Durant in transition. took a lot off that ball, had a lot more spin on it than Durant realized coming off his paddle. Another game opportunity. See McNerney looking for that hard overhead. If you're just tuning in, 3-all, add out. Compton McNerney on the far side, Durant in the red shirt. Oh, just an amazing volley there, which we've come to expect. Oh, Compton beaten by a relatively routine ball.
Yeah, but you see a little bit more spin, you know, being put on the ball right there. And that's what I'm saying, Mark. You didn't see that in the first couple of games.
Oh. Mitchell put that one through McNerney. Boy, nobody followed that one in. That was surprising.
But they're resisting, right, Mark? They're trying to be really disciplined and not engage and speed up play.
I agree with that, but do they want the net? Because that was a relatively routine ball to get the net. And there it is. Game Durant Mitchell. They lead 4-3. Introducing the Viking Axe. Bold, unique, innovative, groundbreaking. A perfect blend of both worlds. All Axe models combine the superb maneuverability of the Ozones with the oversized head and stability of the Reignites. At 88.9 square inches, it's a true oversized frame, but specifically designed with a longer handle to accommodate the two-handed backhand, one of the most important shots in the modern game. Featuring Viking's proprietary carbon throat stability system for enhanced stability and shock reduction at contact, the Axe has a massive sweet spot. It's very forgiving for balls hit outside of it. Viking, rule the court. 7 games in, Patty. What do you think?
It's a new ball. Speaking of Viking balls, Mark, I think that helps Compton and McNerney again. I actually think it makes a difference.
You think it helps Compton and McNerney, and why is that?
I just feel like as the ball loses flocking as you go a little bit early on, I just feel like it's a little tougher for them from the baseline, and I do think they prefer playing the baseline in this match. You know, you think you can't win against Mitchell. I mean, the conventional wisdom is you can't give up the net. When you get an opportunity to take a net against Durant Mitchell, you have to take it. I think they're defying that. And I think it's how they can dictate play. You know, the tempo, the pace of play. So I still think they're in great shape here. I mean, they're down 3-4. Gigantic game.
Lost 2 games. They were up 40-15. Oh, great little inside-out forehand. Durant is up to the task.
See, that's what I'm talking about, Mark. You know, Graham goes at it, didn't hit the greatest overhead. I don't know if he just fed the ball. They didn't care. They're willing to give up the net against these guys. This is kind of a shocking tactic compared to how everyone else tries to play them. Do you agree with that at all, Mark, or no?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a shocking tactic. I mean,
I'm just saying everybody says, oh, you know, when you get the chance, you have to hold the net. You know, you have to avoid Durant and Mitchell from taking the net if you can.
Yeah, I think having the net is important. I think the weather mitigates that somewhat. I do think they want the net, but they've been unable to hold it. But they've also been unable to give away points on it. And Durant and Mitchell have kind of stopped missing. They missed a lot of balls in the first 4 or 5 games. And that's completely stopped.
Yeah, Mitchell had a few little, kind of
Who was less
weird.
volley error? We haven't seen a volley error from Durant Mitchell in a while.
Exactly. And Steven had that a little shaky first service game, and I feel like they've tightened everything up, and they're looking rock solid here.
See Durant fake the hard overhead. And there Compton drives the wrong ball and pays for it.
But you see Steven Mitchell right now, Mark? He's got that bounce. When he starts walking around the court with purpose,
He read
you know
that.
things are going well.
Yeah, he read that beautifully and stuffed Compton right into the corner. So 3-4, love 15. And McNerney comes in behind his serve, and they take over the net. Ooh, wild forehand from Mitchell. 15 all. And there's an example of giving him an opportunity to make some mistakes.
Just when I said Mitchell's got it. He's got it back. He's feeling great.
Another miss.
You know, he missed wide, but I love how Compton just holds that shot, waits so long. Saw Durant close to cover the middle. Went wide, just didn't execute.
Great transition ball there from Compton. 15-40. Set's going down the drain quickly,
Wow.
Patty. Well, maybe not so quickly, but quicker than Compton McNerney would like.
Yeah, that was a bummer of an overhead right there from Compton.
I mean, 2 great lobs from Compton McNerney there, but didn't really help him very much. Compton could just never get a good swing at that ball. He was able not to get hit by it. That's 5-3, Durant Mitchell.
Right, you just knew it was a matter of time before Johan was going to take one of those short balls and just blast it.
This is the first volley error we've seen from Durant in a while. He seems shocked. I'm shocked too. And that's McNerney's game, the blitz. He misses that one, 15 all.
Mark, I'm with you. All of a sudden, this thing is going fast here, this end of the set, for such a deliberate, disciplined approach. You know, the first, I would say 6 games of this match, all of a sudden it's play is sped up and advantage Mitchell Durant big time.
What a stab volley from Durant, or he misses that one. He kind of looked human on that ball, Patty, did you think?
That's twice in this game he's looked human. Can you stand right here?
15-30. Can't say Compton and McNerney haven't had their chances this set.
Mark, do you think they've gained enough on their, in switching sides on the return of serves? Do you think that's worked to their benefit, that you could see any kind of difference?
Not in the slightest.
Yeah, me neither.
Really doing no damage at all on return of serve. Look at Durant taking a step back, hitting that backhand volley behind the service line. Oh, there Mitchell misses that one.
All right, little opening, Mark.
15-40. They've had a bunch of opportunities to convert from 15-40, but unable to do so. Wild forehand there from Compton.
Compton's had a couple flyers like that where he's just got to pick a target on the other side of the net. It's got to be Durant or Mitchell. He's just got to make him volley a ball right there.
And that goes to the margin of error you have against Durant Mitchell. It's just so small. You have to execute so perfectly. I mean, in Philadelphia, we saw Fraser Morgan play, and I mean, the best match they've ever played, in my opinion, and still came up a little short.
The best match they ever played was when they won, Mark. When they beat him 2 years prior. That was the most amazing paddle match I'd ever seen.
Yeah, Durant Mitchell weren't quite Durant Mitchell at that point. You're referring to a PFP event.
Yeah, and it wasn't about who they were. It was just the match and the excitement of it, and it came down. And I mean, it was just incredible in the third set toward the end, and just the level of play. Execution was phenomenal from all four players. That's what made it thrilling.
That was the case in Philadelphia, too.
For sure.
Not to the same level, but.
Is it coming, Mark? Do you feel like Durant's ready to deliver the boom?
It's always coming. Just waiting for that short lob. Here it comes again. Durant smartly bails. There you see McNerney just giving up the net, trying to get them in transition. Misses it wide. And that's been the story of this set. They've had numerous opportunities, but have failed to convert.
Back to deuce from 15-40.
Again.
That was huge, Mark.
This would be the third time they've lost a game from 15-40.
Are you a psychic, Mark? Because they haven't lost the game yet.
I said would be the third time.
Okay.
See Durant moving Compton around, probing, looking to create an opening. One in the middle, one out wide. So much pressure to maintain the depth and height on your lobs against Durant.
Yeah, and McNerney is a phenomenal lobber, Mark. You just see how still he keeps his feet, and he just kind of a compact type of swing.
the hard overhead from Durant.
What a beautiful forehand.
And I think that to win this match, Compton and McNerney have got to hold the net a little bit. They need to play more points like this. Give Durant Mitchell a chance to miss some balls. Good transition decision there by Mitchell. Compton misses it. They played such a good point and come up short, and that takes us to our first set point. 5-3, add in. Great forehands there from Compton. Durant finds the line in that lob, and they're back at the net again. All that hard work for naught.
Mark, I still like Compton and McNerney's approach to this match. I mean, I feel like they've had their looks. They've kind of been a little too juiced. You know, they've had their opportunities if they... I mean, I think they've had 5 points that if they made this, you know, this set is different.
Unquestionably.
You know, on their paddle. I'm saying they had the shots.
But they haven't converted those game opportunities. As I said earlier, this would be the third one. But they had 45 in a 6-3 set. That's the difference in the set. Mitchell finds the line with the volley. Huge cutter from Durant.
This is feeling very much like how the match started right here.
Okay, back to deuce.
And that's that really good lobbing that, you know, that's what McNerney is known for, Mark. And I was talking about compact swings. He just doesn't swing across his body. He just locks his wrist, real firm wrist technique, and really is masterful at controlling his lobs all over the court, you know, the placement and the height.
And Stephen Mitchell does such a wonderful job of sliding to his right, taking away that right hip. It's the second one like that. The Compton was able to get out of the way, had a good swing and missed. Takes us to another set point.
Yeah, he's going to have to resist. He's got to be a little more disciplined right there in that moment.
Boy, a couple great balls from McNerney. And there's the fake overhead from Durant. And they win the first set, 6-3. For over 20 years, Paddle Pro has been recognized as an industry leader in platform tennis. The knowledge, expert advice, vast inventory, and ultimate customer service will help any player find the perfect equipment to take your game to the next level. Paddle Pro is the only website to carry all platform tennis brands. For more information, go to www.paddlepro.com. Okay, we have a special treat for everybody, although not everybody may see it that way, as Matt Wurzel is going to be joining us. Me personally, I'm kind of on the fence as to whether it's a special treat. We'll have to see what he has to say before we make that determination. Matt, welcome to the booth.
Mark, it's an honor and a privilege to share the booth with you here.
Now, what's your official title at Viking? Somebody said you were a production manager in charge of the warehouse. Is that right?
Production manager in charge of the warehouse. I mean, it's a little bit of everything. Production manager, sales, inventory, you name it. I'm doing that with it's basically partnering with Alex Banchila. So we purchased the company about 8 months ago now. So small operation here together, and we're doing all hands on deck with whatever needs to be done with the business. And just happy to be part of this game here and be able to support the APTA.
Now, Viking is the legendary brand in platform tennis. David Jelson, I think, bought it in the mid-'90s, and it's always been an industry leader. Can you tell us where Viking's headed these days, some of the new things we can expect from such a top brand?
Sure, no, absolutely. It's like you said, it has been an industry leader, and our goal here moving forward is just to continue that reputation here, and continue to produce top quality products that the players and all the pros are going to love to be able to use and sell. This past year, we just released the Axe model here. It introduced a carbon fiber technology that we're starting to put into paddles here, and it was a wild success. A lot of we sold out clean with all the products that we had made for that, and we're going to continue to run that. And it's been a common theme for us every 2 years or so to release a new paddle lineup. So this Axe here, we're hoping is going to be the future of paddle.
Okay, second set's getting started. First point, Compton McNerney. What are your thoughts on the Nationals this year, Matt?
It's an incredible venue. It's nice to be able to come back home to the
You are a
stomping
native Long
grounds.
Islander?
Absolutely. Grew up in Garden City with the family over there, so it's nice to be able to host Nationals back in the hometown here. And the APTA has done a great job here. It's been tricky conditions. I know some weather-related issues caused some people to have some delays getting into town, and weather was looking a little dodgy today, so there were some adjustments that were made on the fly yesterday. But a great job as always with Nationals, and it's such a fun event to be a part of here. Very, very electric atmosphere, as you can probably tell by the crowd that's standing around here too.
And you played this weekend.
I did play.
Are you allowed to talk about how you did, or is that off?
I played, and I played poorly. So that's a common theme as well when I'm seeming to step on the court these days.
Kind of the way you normally play?
Correct. It was very, very par for the course here. So.
And who do you like this weekend? Do you think anybody can beat Durant Mitchell?
You know, I was very impressed with Frazier Morgan. I think they put on a phenomenal performance this afternoon. They've been a blossoming team for the last year and a half here. So I think those guys are going to be extremely tough to beat, and that's my pick at the moment. So it's also safe to say that they're one of the two teams who are already through. So it's a very conservative pick, I'd say.
Well, they'll face Burrish or Doy at 9:30 tomorrow morning. 15 all here. Have you had the pleasure of playing against Johan Durant?
I have. You know what? So 2 years ago, I played with Mike Marino at the Nationals, and we played Mitchell and Durant in the round of 16 there. So it was a very uncomfortable experience. Johan's an incredible player, and Steven's an unbelievable player too. So they were way too good for us. But Johan's been a staple in the last decade for paddle here, and he's just been. He's been the greatest to play, so I'm hoping for that Frazier Morgan Durant Mitchell rematch. That would be pretty exciting to see. Right. That match a month ago in Philadelphia. That was probably the best paddle match I've seen this season. I think all four players played at an incredibly high level. Momentum swings back and forth were incredible. So it would be fun to have that as a rematch, and if they can produce that level of play tomorrow as well, that would be a treat for all the viewers here.
Well, I know several people who hope that you're wrong. Sven Burrish and Mikko Doya amongst them.
Sven Burrish was an old partner of mine. I'm going to take credit for his paddle prowess. He started off playing with me, and then quickly realized he was going to be one of the greats of the game, and I wasn't going to be the one to take him there. So,
I had heard he was nothing before he played with you.
That's accurate, but just simply because he hasn't played the sport before. So, but no, him and Mick looked well. They looked good as well. So it was fun to watch that match.
Well, everybody at the APTA appreciates all the support from Viking, and want to thank both you and Alex for all you've done for us, and thanks for joining us today.
No, appreciate you having me for a couple minutes here. So we'll continue to support the game and produce some top quality products here.
Super. Thanks again, Matt.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it.
Okay, so back to the action. It seems like it's more of what we've seen, Patty.
Yeah, Mark, you know, like I said, I feel like Compton and McNerney, I love their game plan. And they had their looks, and they just didn't execute. And I think, you know, when Durant and Mitchell are at their net, I feel like the points just go on, and then all of a sudden Durant gets that overhead, he blasts it. And I just think a couple of times Compton's been overjuiced, and Compton has to recognize that when Johan's hitting the shot today because of the temperature, he's actually just drifting back behind the baseline. And Compton's missed that, you know, didn't put that ball in play a couple times. I think that's key.
Huge serve there from Compton. He really challenged Mitchell. And they saved 2 game points to come back to deuce. They need to find a game. They've lost 5 consecutive here. Up 3-1 in the first set to go down, lose the set 6-3. With a long grinding point. And what's really interesting to me, Patty, is the last couple of years Durant played with Parsons, he just got so impatient, refused to play the middle, and now you see none of that. I asked Durant that question after one tournament, and he said it just took him getting kicked in the head enough times. Misses that volley.
Right, he was so dominant, and then I think when he you know, started winning again 3 years ago, he embraced. That's the joke about the push overhead up the middle, Mark. Often imitated.
I mean, his athletic skills are just breathtaking.
But I don't even think, you know, Johan Durant, as great as he could spend an entire paddle match blasting every overhead. And so, you know, when club level players think about, okay, when do you tee off, when don't you? You know, obviously Durant can do whatever he wants whenever he wants, but
those are the
he's
errors.
Much more of tactical.
Those are the errors that Compton McNerney just simply cannot afford.
And they know it. They can't even believe, you know, that miss.
Game point. They miss it.
I mean, McNerney's not even looking for anything, Mark.
Durant misses that one, but that's about, I don't know if that's a strategy, just waiting for Durant to miss. Another opportunity to get on the board here.
You mean you're not sure it's a successful strategy?
Oh, Mitchell with a wild forehand, and Compton McNerney win the first game. Now, I would say I'm not sure it's a strategy. I mean, well, I guess maybe that's not fair. Maybe it is a strategy, just not a successful one. It was one that people employed for a while, going back 3-4 years.
Mark, what's coming up next on the APTA schedule? What do we have left in the season?
Mixed nationals, team nationals. Anything else I'm missing?
Mixed nationals will be out of Westchester, Mark?
DJ Getz, director of racket sports, the Westchester Country Club. We'll be doing mixed nationals there. which is their third try. I think they tried to do it in March of 20, got canceled because of COVID.
Yep.
And then again in last year, and it got canceled.
And Team Nationals hosted, men will be playing out of Fiddler's Elbow out in Bedminster, and ladies will be playing out in Chicago. Mike Raleigh's running the show out there. Dave Broderick and Greg Morgan running the show out of Fiddler's Elbow.
Durant misses that one, and we're starting to see some mistakes from him.
You know, just when I say they're just lobbing and doing nothing, nothing is working right now, Mark. All of a sudden, it's a little weird again.
And
Little
nothing,
momentum swing.
And nothing worked at the beginning of the first set.
Exactly.
Although I thought at the beginning of the first set they took some more swings and forced some errors.
And nothing, we just mean just no threat of much offense. Just defensive, little lobbing tactic. Definitely all day from McNerney here out of the deuce court.
That was a good ball to take a cut at, but Compton fails to convert.
I think that's about the third or fourth shot that Compton's missed wide, Mark. I think he's got to use the middle of the court here. I love his forehand, not as much of his as his backhand.
You like his backhand better. Well, that's the third one of those that Compton was able to get out of the way of, was in position to make a play and just missed the ball.
Yep. Cut it a little too close. The other two had gone long. That one went into the net. But again, they're getting their looks, Mark.
Second game, second set. First set to Durant Mitchell, 6-3.
Here we go. See, why not throw that ball in the middle between those guys when Compton has those short forehands?
Compton McNerney up 1-love here in the second set. Hughes Powers playing on the next court, and winners of these two matches will play each other 9 o'clock tomorrow morning in one of our national semifinals. The other one will be Fraser Morgan, Burris Doya.
Got a Pittsburgh team out there.
Rams Wagner. There's the hard overhead again. That one goes out of the court. Unfortunately, John Lubau has left the ground, so he won't be able to get it for us.
Compton's the happiest guy in America right now that ball went out of the court. Because I can see McNerney doing a good job talking to Compton about just settle down. You're getting your looks. You're getting your shots. Got to have patience right here, right now.
Back to deuce. Looking for the blitz there. I like that play. Just got to find some way to win points.
See, right there. But I like the middle there, trying to go on that side of Johan. Try to handcuff him a little bit on his forehand.
And there Durant beats him with the blitz.
Hughes and Powers up, just won the first set over Rams and Wagner, 6-3, Mark.
And this match got on a good half hour, 40 minutes before that match did. Durant's so smart there, the way he just lets that ball through. He knows they're going to have plenty of opportunities. Just don't make a volley error, you can end up back in control of the net shortly. There you see the good lob, and well, McNerney comes back in that time. I expected him to surrender the net as he's done on several other occasions. Now Durant misses that ball.
Well, I think that's the thing about McNerney. He's a smart guy out on that court, and he stayed back plenty of times so far in the match. And I think that was a great call. Show a different look and stay up there. Wow, that was quite a serve, Mark.
So 6-3, 1-all.
He may rethink that strategy of coming in against Durant. It's still Johan.
30-15. Just misses that one.
And I actually think their best tactic was staying back, you know, against Johan in the early going, Mark. I don't think Graham needs to go follow it in. I don't think the element of surprise is going to be helpful for him. There's no surprise against Durant. See, I like that spot that Compton hit. You got Johan to put a little bit of a pop that volley up slightly.
Whoa. That was a wild overhead out of nowhere from Durant. And a hold for Compton McNerney. They go up 2-1, second set. Be interesting to see if this set unfolds like the first one did, with Durant Mitchell making some careless errors to begin the set, and then as things got deeper in it, they buckled down and eliminated all the errors.
Right. All I know is I just watched Stephen Mitchell. I watch how when his gait speeds up, Mark, then he becomes a man possessed out there. I think this is really smart. Compton's outside the court, taking plenty of time here, Mark. I think that this is just another way to kind of dictate pace of play a little bit.
Yeah, when you're playing really slowly, you want to play slowly between points too, between games. Just that all adds to the tempo of it. Okay, here we go. Compton McNerney back on the court. Durant to serve, 1-2, second set. Three rips in a row there from Compton. It's like this is a much more aggressive point. I mean, they've driven the ball more in this point than they have in the last 3 or 4 games. Not saying that's right or it's wrong, it's just different.
Right, led by Compton, who was over in the deuce court at the time and cut a couple good looks and took the swings.
Miss lob there. Fault from Durant. Misses that one. 15-30. Durant seems to be going through one of those patches, bunch of errors.
just kind of loose errors, Mark. You don't see any reason. He just makes all these spectacular shots back to back to back to back to back. And then
like that overhead that lost the last game. Just out of nowhere, just missed a cut overhead long by 2 feet. Compton airmails the backhand. 30 all.
And I don't know, he's Brian Compton, but it was kind of a little bit deep. He didn't have like a lot of forward momentum on that shot. I love his backhand. He's got to really lean in and be committed to it.
Another miss Durant there. Point for 3-1.
Wow.
Compton McNerney. They've been here before. There Durant goes overhead. Oh. Just a complete donation of a game.
Bizarre, Mark.
Does he get to write that game off on his taxes?
Did he just spike a fever? That was uncanny right there. What a weird game.
Okay, so similar to the first set, 3-1 Compton McNerney.
It's just kind of weird, Mark. I don't feel like McNerney and Compton's level of play has definitely increased. I just think Durant has just dipped here.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. They're doing nothing to force these errors. He's just making them.
And again, all day long, you just see McNerney, you know, when the overhead comes his way, he just gets down low, blocks those balls all day on the lobbing.
Haven't seen a blitz from McNerney in a while.
But see, I like this from Compton, Mark, picking his spots. I said earlier I would love to see him use the middle of the court a little bit more against these guys.
Missed volley there. First point.
Mark, gigantic game here for Compton and McNerney. They can hold, go up 4-1 second set. It's be quite a remarkable shift here. But again, you know, like we said, first set they had their looks, and it was 6-3, but there wasn't that much separation, I didn't think.
Yeah, there's a bad decision by Compton on the transition ball.
If there's one area, I just think it's the transition thing with Compton, and he's thrown in a little too, you know, too many errors in transition.
Compton has missed, that's 4 by my count, Patty. That's love 40. Just feel like at some point Durant Mitchell are going to steady the ship and stop missing these balls, and they're going to win the set.
Well, you'll kind of always feel with when Durant's on the court, that there's a time where if he digs in really deep, there's almost nothing anyone can do about it.
And the closest we've seen all year was Frazier Morgan in Philadelphia. So just to recap, that's 6-3. First set, Durant Mitchell, and it's 3-2 Compton McNerney in the second set.
Yeah, that was a tough serving game right there for Compton, Mark. I thought they had needed that game. You've just seen these guys play so many matches, and they're not a team that needs much room, and they just get sparked, and all of a sudden their level totally changes. Watch out. And I'm just saying, do you ever see Durant give away gifts toward the end of the set? You referred to it earlier. He might dump some and do some, have some generosity early in the set, but then late in the set, there's no one there's no one better.
So 3-love, Hughes Powers, second set as they seem to be headed to yet another national semifinal berth. Made semis in Philadelphia in 2017, have made semis every single year since, including their victory in Chicago in 2018. Love. 2-3, 15-love.
Don't you feel like Johan's getting that look right now, Mark? Where he wants the ball.
That was a real good forehand by Compton, but Mitchell had the answer with the volley. Oh, McNerney stepped in front of Compton's forehand to lob that ball. Those are solid drives from Compton, but he's just not spotting the ball very well.
I was just thinking that, Mark. He's, he missed a couple wide. I wanted him to use a little bit more of the middle. I'd love him to take a couple shots at Stephen Mitchell straight ahead, I think.
He's got to find some right hips. Right now he's finding left hips regularly. Oh, Durant with a late decision to drive the ball. Mitchell throws it over when he's serving, something Mirta Molenbold's exceptionally good at. Oh, McNerney darting to the side wire, looking for the hard overhead.
I mean, Mark, this is unbelievable play, and these guys make it look so easy. Their foot speed, footwork, it's just incredible. Their anticipation.
Durant ducks, and that catches the nick.
Yeah.
15-30.
Great overhead from McNerney. Great result.
I like that. That's a much better way of putting it.
I feel like Durant's just getting way too many overheads, Mark. I would love to see, it's really hard to control the lobbing, and, perhaps that's their tactic, but it seems like Durant's hit about 94% of the overheads in this set.
Yep. And Mitchell's really smart. Mitchell does what Mitchell does well. And that's a great compliment to Durant. Volleys exceptionally well. It's got that big forehand. Missile that volley.
But see, that's what I'm talking about. That's what Compton has to do. You've got to let Mitchell have an opportunity here in this match.
And that corner was better, much better spotted.
Yeah, and he went a little bit high, hard ball to control the volley on.
Oh.
But I just think the strategy of waiting, trying to outlast Durant until he misses, as you said, I don't think that's how you win a match. At times, that works in a match.
Another game point opportunity for Compton McNerney, 30-40.
Rams Wagner on the board in the second set with Hughes and Powers, down 1-3.
There you see Mitchell sliding to his
Yeah, beautiful move. And
take away that hip.
yeah, great volley.
Nope, Durant misses that one out of the court.
Second one out, Mark? Is that the second one that went out over Compton's corner?
Yep. That's 4-2. Three-two, Hughes Powers. Love to see Compton take that forehand up a little bit higher. Because Mitchell's just right on top of the net. And to me, that's a good opportunity to aim for that upper chest. Right around shoulder height.
You just go high on purpose, Mark, just to get him to hit an awkward volley.
Yeah, because when you're on top of the net, you got to drive people off the net. And one way of doing that is hit the ball at their chest.
Well, I thought Compton would have to bring a little bit more offense, Mark. I'm totally wrong because these guys are ahead 4-2 in this set. And
well, I'm not going
he's
to
just
I'm not
breaking-
disagreeing with you yet, because the goal wasn't to get to 4-2 in the set, right?
Correct.
So I tend to think you're right that Compton's got to bring some more offense. Great cut winner there from Durant.
Interesting play. McNerney cut in front of Compton. I'm not sure that was a set play.
Misses that one wide.
Mitchell almost was too quick on that shot, Mark. He looked like he was going to be beaten, and he just caught up, made up for the time, and actually had more time before he had to swing.
So 4-2, 15 all. McNerney calling out I go. Haven't heard Graham's voice in a while.
Oh, but it's Graham. He's chatting it up the whole time.
There's a great ball from McNerney. And those are the types of swings they need to take.
I'm just not sure why McNerney's going in serving and volleying if Compton's staying back, Mark.
Again, he takes that forehand right at Durant's left hip.
But I think he had the middle. I think the middle is available to Compton.
30 all.
He's going to bum out if they lose this game, Mark. That was a great opportunity. That was a great look for Compton again.
Oh, there he gets beaten by the Nick. .30-40. Patty Hogan, Nationals have been at a number of different places over the last 10 years, 12 years. What's the only place Johan Durant hasn't won?
Long Island?
Very good, Patty Hogan. I knew you were good for that one.
I kind of thought it was a trick question, Mark.
One in Philadelphia, one in Connecticut, one in Chicago. All the places that it's been hosted. Philadelphia. Long Island's the only one. Oh, look at that ball. It just popped right over McNerney's paddle. 3 all in the next court. Back to deuce. So Durant closed the net up there. And there he beats Compton in the middle again. Just cannot drive the ball when Durant's on top of the net.
Yeah, I just think you have to have a sense of when that, whatever, that orangey red or whatever color that shirt is, when Durant's getting close, you just have to resist going for any shot. I think you only can go drive behind him at that point or lob. We know he moves so incredibly well to his right. And no matter where you stick the ball to his right, he always reaches it.
Oh, there McNerney beats him with a spin overhead. Don't see that happen too frequently. That's a good play by Mitchell to get out of there and stay alive at the point. So risky move by Durant to the side wire.
Oh, what a sweet ball from Mitchell. What a great pickup from Compton.
Compton catches the lead core to the transition. Four, 3, Rams Wagner. They won 4 consecutive games.
Pittsburgh strong, Mark.
Another game point opportunity for Compton McNerney. McNerney finds the nick, but Mitchell trails perfectly. Oh, what a play. No, Durant misses that one. 5-2.
It's such a bizarre paddle match, Mark.
I think that's a perfect description for it, Patty Hogan.
No offense to any of the great players out on the court, but it's just so funny how the points are going, the momentum shifts. Just when you think, you know, it's Johan time, you know, McNerney and Compton have done a phenomenal job of negating most of his amazing shots. And again, I didn't feel like there was much separation in the first set, honestly. And I don't feel there's much separation here in the second set. It's just the opposite team winning. And again, you see how long in the changeover, you know, you have Mitchell and Durant who just sort of pace quickly to the other side and then hang out for about a minute and a half. You know, and now Compton McNerney are back. Durant serving, down 2-5, second set. We're in Long Island, Huntington Golf Club, Huntington Country Club. 2022 APTA Nationals. There is golf here, Mark.
Beautiful golf course, Patty Hogan. I've had the pleasure of playing it. Lisa Rudloff, the director here, has done a wonderful job this weekend.
Mark, it's getting a little gusty here. What's the forecast tonight? Are we supposed to get a little bit of rain?
I think that's later.
Later?
It's amazing how the temperature has dropped. I don't know that you could be brutally hot early in the day and then freezing cold later in the day, but you can. I can attest to that. It's not on Long Island usually. Denver, maybe.
That's right. See, I like this going at Mitchell with Compton. Just a safe shot, just hitting to see if you might just get a fluke volley error.
Or make a fluke lob error.
Yeah, I think that's only the, is that the second one for McNerney in this entire match?
There's a big forehand. Oh, great transition ball by Durant. Oh, what a volley. Love. 4-all, Hughes Powers. As they break the run of 4 consecutive games. Rams Wagner. That's that forehand volley Durant makes look so easy and is anything but.
Yeah, against most people, Compton and McNerney, you know, Compton's drives, he's hitting the dippy ball. He is zoned in. That ball is getting down low, and I mean, we've just seen it for a long time with Durant. He just makes it look so easy. Oh.
Okay. Compton will serve for the second set at 5-3.
You know, Compton had such a ball that it was dipping below the level of net, and I love Mitchell's move just to get out of town there. He knew he was going to get hit in the chest if that ball went over. Or I think that was the intended target eventually.
Such a beautiful scene here. Oh, Compton gets to the lead court and it hits Mitchell. And they're 3 points from the set. And then McNerney gets beaten in transition. Just can't afford to lose that battle there. Really wasn't trying to do much, but wasn't bailing.
Yeah, he just got caught in a bad spot on the court, Mark. Didn't really have a play on that. A good play, obviously.
And then follows it up with a lob error. And those are the mistakes that can cost you a set or a match.
Just when I said McNerney had only made about 2 unforced errors this entire match, just 2 in this game here.
And there Mitchell retreats. Just really smart play. Love the confidence from Durant and Mitchell. You got it, you got it. Does that mean he thinks he's got it, or he better get it?
I just love the coverage, both of these guys. You know, just watching the effortless movement at the net.
Big forehand from Mitchell.
They just all know how to cover for each other. It looks so easy, Mark, but for most players, there's nothing they can't even do close to this. Mark, I still think Compton needs to get some of these lobs over to Mitchell. Out of that ad court. I mean, I know it's really tough to control him off of the Durant overhead. But again, I just think they need to involve Mitchell's overhead a little bit more here than all Durant overheads.
We haven't seen a lot of big cut winners from Durant. And there he finds the volley error. 30 all, 2 points from the set.
I mean, I think Mitchell is unbelievably good, Mark. I just think that Durant.
But he's not Durant.
He's not Durant. So I think that's the guy you got to hit more.
Well, that drive was a little bit higher and a little bit harder. Okay, point for 5-4. Mitchell drops his paddle accidentally. At least I'll assume it was accidental. And there McNerney was at the net when Mitchell was serving, and McNerney hits a big cut winner. That was a change in strategy out of nowhere. And again, McNerney at the net against Durant. Interesting.
He's a brave man.
Boy, I love the change in strategy.
Yeah, we talked about it, and that's what McNerney, I mean, he's a student of the game, Mark. He studies, he watches a ton of the live streaming. He knows everybody's tendencies. And you can see they walked on the court with, you know, a
Plan.
just a right. And it was a great plan because they're controlling the tempo of play in this match. Oh my God, what a sick volley. Wow.
Mitchell misses that one. It takes us to set point.
I'll tell you, big time volley from Brian Compton right there.
They've kind of pulled Durant Mitchell into the mud a little bit. Wow, he had an easy transition ball, chose to lob it. Interesting. Set point. Compton McNerney to even this thing up at a set apiece. Again, well struck backhand, not a well placed backhand.
I'll tell you, early in the set with McNerney and you know, Compton getting the lead, I didn't think that their level of play was that much different, but I feel like their level of play is elevating here, Mark. Big time.
Agreed.
And I really think, you know, it's Compton. He's getting a lot of the shots. He's the offense, obviously, for this team. McNerney's doing exactly what McNerney started the match doing, just really spotting all these lobs all over the place.
Haven't seen any big Durant overheads in a while.
Yep, and Compton's just, you know, reduced his errors. You know, his driving percentage is way up, I think. I just would never think that with Tehran hitting 90, you know, such a huge percentage of the overheads that you would win the set off him. That's what's so bizarre to me.
It's not like they've inflicted a lot of damage. When Drew Broderick beat them with his strategy, he wanted to be at the net, and he didn't give up the net because he was such an exceptional volleyer. Here you haven't seen Compton McNerney really interested in keeping the net. On occasion, but not regularly.
And it's a brilliant strategy, Mark, because you know, you look at Duran Mitchell, watch him in short hills. I mean, they just crush you with their drives, but everyone says you have to be at the net against them. These guys are proving everybody wrong right here.
Oh, such a painful way to lose that point, though. There's the hard over at Durant.
And Mark, you say that even though Durant's hit a majority of the overheads, he's not inflicting that much damage. Don't you think that's because Compton and McNerney playing an incredible match, handling all the spins off of his overheads that he's putting on the ball, and the warm weather is the factor as well. I mean, look at that adjustment. McNerney just made him that ball.
That ball was called out, correct, Patty
The
Hogan?
ball was long, Mark. Yep.
So it's set point number 2 for Compton McNerney. Oh, great backhand from Mitchell. Set point number 2 for Compton McNerney. Compton serving 5-3 second set. First set to Mitchell 6-3.
I feel like it's coming, Mark. There's going to be a blast. Five-all Mark second set. Hughes and Powers with Rams and Wagner.
What about a blitz from McNerney? You think that's coming?
I don't know. You feeling it, Mark?
No, I'm not, Patty.
I'm not sure that would be a wise move.
Yeah, I was trying to lure you into it.
No.
You're too smart.
No.
Another missed lob by Compton. 2 set points, 2 missed lobs long by Compton.
A little pressure. Picked up his foot there to get out of the way. The ball hitting his heel.
Mooney misses that one, and it's now point for 5-4. Wow. And it's 5-4 Durant Mitchell.
You know, you never count Durant Mitchell out. It's just incredible. Don't you think, Ed? Isn't this phenomenal watching them play? And here you have Compton McNerney up 5-3, couple of set points, all of a sudden 5-4. Watch out. Yeah, and I mean, the hardest thing to do out on a platform tennis court is to close, and when you're against great champions like Durant and Mitchell, you know, you just don't know how many opportunities you're going to get. You know, they missed him in the first set, lost that set 6-3. They just had him, didn't take advantage of those opportunities. All of a sudden, we have our defending national champ. How many national titles does Durant have?
5.
5. Durant's got that look and that bounce. Watch out.
Just small mistakes. Margin of error is very tiny.
Wow. It's got to be disappointing for Compton McNerney, but, you know, right here they got to get over that. Just hit the delete button and move forward here.
So Mitchell to serve, 4-5. Oh, big rip there from McNerney out of nowhere.
Loved it. But, you know, McNerney has a sense of this, of the timing, and he didn't have to pull the trigger really on anything else, and all of a sudden he had to pull the trigger. They had to break the little momentum that Mitchell and Durant are feeling right here, and, you know, to get in a little quick look on a forehand like that, kudos to him for pulling the trigger.
That's great variety from Compton.
Gosh, what a pickup from Mitchell on that low ball, Mark.
Oh, all that hard
Graham.
work. Missed that overhead. 15 all.
And Mark, that's the first time I've seen McNerney give in to the pace of play. He kind of got suckered in and hit that ball real fast. Just missed an easy overhead for him.
There you see Mitchell closing that. He's so tight to the net and so low.
That's the shot from Compton, the up the line lob over Mitchell. I think that's key. I just don't see Compton do that much out of that ad corner. I'd love to see a little bit more of it.
6'5" Hughes Powers. Stephen Mitchell serving 4-5, 15-30, second set. Oh!
Oh my gosh.
Oh, and it's good.
I know I say unbelievable a lot, but that was unbelievable.
Great blitz by Mitchell. Can you hit a ball harder than Durant hit that ball? Oh, did he just tag that? That looked like a Jerry Vian forehand. 30 all. This guy's got 9 lives. Then Durant somehow picks that ball up on a half volley. Look at Mitchell right on top of the net. Only backhand volleys. He's one of the best in the game at staying away from that forehand volley. Durant is fully engaged right now. Compton McNerney are going to have to win this set. It's not going to be gifted to them.
Yeah, I totally agree. I was just thinking that. We're not going to see any loose errors from Mitchell and Durant here.
Maybe no loose errors from them, but we may lose our 10 to the wind. Look at them both jump the net. As soon as they saw it, the ball, and McNerney steps in. That was a great lob from Compton. As you saw both Durant and Mitchell close the net. Down, up, overhead. Set point number 3. Last 2 set points ended with Compton missing lobs long.
Yeah, but he came up big time right there with that deception off that lob. Kind of had those guys believing he was going to crush another forehand, threw up the lob.
Oh, great volley from Mitchell. I just think he's got to go higher with that drive. Mitchell's really tight to the net. Great pickup.
Yep.
Oh, wide. Not a great pickup. Confirmed by the chair umpire, and we're back to deuce. Yeah, I just think he's got to go higher with that. Aim at the shoulder. He's right on top of the net. That low drive is just not having an impact. Compton McNerney switching in the backcourt yet again, as they have had the whole match. Dangerous drive there from Compton. That was a low ball. Big come on from Durant as he catches the nick. And a point for 5 all. This is not going to be given to them. They're going to have to go get it. That means taking some swings.
Well, you said they're going to have to earn it, because we know Durant Mitchell, toward the end of any set, they're never giving away anything.
Great cross from Durant there. When was the last time we saw Mitchell hit a forehand volley?
3 years ago?
And there Durant misses one of a big Mitchell drive.
See,
A big Compton drive.
See, I love that drive from Compton, using the middle of the court. Johan doesn't really seal off the middle of the court. He doesn't overshift because he can reach everything.
Game, set, match, Hughes Powers. They win the second set 7-5, and they're into this national semifinal. They'll play the winner of this match tomorrow morning at 9. There's the backhand. But again, not spotted particularly well. Great lobbing from McNerney, got him behind the service line on a regular basis. Great ball from Compton.
Yeah, I love Compton mixing up his drives here, Mark. Wow.
Wow, Durant just frozen there, didn't he? Oh, and McNerney misses it wide. Such a great effort. Got twisted up. Great recognition from Durant. Another point for 5-all. Mitchell has served a flawless match. I don't know that he's faulted in the last hour or so.
Don't say it, Mark.
Well, he served now. I can say it. Drive there from Compton. Durant flips his paddle and makes a really tough volley look easy. Another missed lob, Compton, and it's 5-all.
Oh, disappointing. They're just playing so well, and to just have a little, these lobs, you kind of feather them. There's a tiny bit of wind, Mark. Just maybe, impacting those lobs a tiny bit. McNerney serving.
As we mentioned earlier, Graham learned to play paddle in Atlanta.
Atlanta, then he went to Chicago, now in Pittsburgh.
University of Georgia boy.
I don't think he played tennis there, Mark.
No, he did not. He played club tennis. Boy, hard to see Compton McNerney winning the set at this point.
Well, 5 minutes ago, I was positive it was going 3.
Positive?
Positive. I was positive.
Wow.
Yep.
That's an impressive conviction.
I'm not as positive right now.
Is this like the patty meter?
It is the patty meter.
I don't think I was ever above 5 on this going 3 on the patty meter.
No, I just, like we said, I think the early part of the second set was so weird. The second part, I thought McGrady, Compton just were raising their level of play and put themselves in a great position. How many set points? What were they up? 5-3?
I think they had 3 set points.
Yeah. And mentally, that's got to wear on you in the back of your head, just thinking about that. Oh my gosh! But they can't think about it.
Nope. 5-all second set. Mitchell's positioning at the net is so good. That's why we never see him hitting forehand volleys. Once in a while in transition, but never when he's set.
Do you think he would if he was playing with someone and anyone else besides Johan Durant?
Certainly would be a lot more difficult to pull off that feat.
Yep. Like we said, to Mitchell's credit, is a phenomenal compliment to Durant.
Roderick was mentioning that it's hard to pull off the strategy when you have multiple matches in a day, but with only one match in a day, your legs won't go. Compton misses that one. $15-30. Oh, what a backhand from Durant. Little flick. Catches McNerney moving to the middle.
Big time.
15-40.
Yeah, and that's the play, you know, in this whole set. McNerney was following his serve in. Compton was staying back. Don't think Durant didn't notice. Knew exactly where to go.
Oh, great backhand by Compton. Hit it where Durant is, because he's not going to be there long.
That's right.
Oh, great dive from Mitchell, side wire, and blitzes them.
You know, we haven't seen that many opportunities for Mitchell out of that deuce court to hit that shot. That was the one they just, you know, one short hill zone. Mitchell's forehand was on fire from that deuce side.
And there it is, 6-5. Patty, if Durant Mitchell win this game, we'll have the exact same number of teams, same 4 teams in the semifinals this year as we did last year.
Say that again, Mark. Wait a second.
If Durant Mitchell win this match,
okay,
the same 4 teams will have made national semifinals
I gotcha.
in 2021 and 2022.
Oh. That's a great factoid, Mark.
Johan Durant will serve for the match in yet another national semifinal.
It's just hard to believe the swings of momentum here. From 5-3 all of a sudden, trying to serve it out 6-5.
I'm sure Compton and McNerney feel the same way. Oh, what a volley. I mean, that looks so simple. Just a brilliant blitz from Compton. Tag the backhand, high to low. And Durant just stuck his paddle down and made a possible volley look routine. Same volley we saw him make against Tyler Frazier multiple times in Philadelphia.
Twice in this game, you've seen the ball. Compton just let the ball go through where he was chasing that ball down. Just let it go by, let Graham cover it. Compton just wants to stay over there and just wants to sitting on his two-handed backhand, just waiting for another shot from Durant.
Great overhead there from Mitchell, catches the seam. Durant goes sidearm and faults. He's been serving almost exclusively overhand to McNerney, second set.
Just feel like Compton's got to think about just using his
Durant
legs.
misses an overhead. A couple of gifts from Durant.
Yeah, Compton, I'm just saying. I don't know. I don't think he's cramping or anything, but I feel like he's got to get his legs into it. He's
Huge return
Yeah.
from McNerney, and as soon as this thing looked over, they'll have 2 chances to get to a tiebreak.
Yeah, big time again. That's the second time when Compton McNerney really needed something. McNerney just pulled the trigger. I just think Compton is just getting the ball back barely, and it's feeding right into Durant right now, Mark. Wow. Great rip, great hands.
Volley for Durant.
Huge pickup from McNerney right there. Oh, what a rip. Oh, my God, that
Big
was
positive
huge.
energy, and we're going to a breaker. Boy, McNerney really came up big that game. Couple of errors. Couple of errors from Durant, but then McNerney played a couple of big-time points. And we'll play a breaker.
I'll say. Huge play for McNerney.
Compton taking a swing with the new ball. Be interesting to see if they continue to challenge Mitchell. It looks like they're going to, with McNerney at the net. Compton's been hitting that hard serve into Mitchell. They go from I formation to regular. Mitchell's hit that backhand off the backside wires so well tonight.
We talk about Durant's volleys. Mitchell's there within 2 inches of the baseline.
Great dipping ball there from Compton. First point of the tiebreak. So that's the ball I've been waiting the
Right.
whole match for, Patty. He got
Right.
that ball up high.
Yep.
Durant was on top of the net. He missed the volley. When you're close to the net, that high volley is such a hard ball to make.
But the problem with going so high is that if the guy gets out of the way, the ball goes out.
But it's a lot harder to get out of the way when you're on top of the net.
Yeah,
You've seen
exactly.
both Durant and Mitchell jumping on top of the net. Okay, 1-love, Compton McNerney. Just got to be careful with that hard one off the back wire against McNerney. Oh, what a cut finish from Durant. That is so hard to do off the bounce.
Wow.
1-all. Compton was looking for that one. Just didn't quite have. Just to recap, first set, Durant Mitchell 6-3. We're in a tiebreak for the second set. Great ball there from McNerney. It's 1-all in the tiebreak. Oh, Durant with a mistake. Tries to move up to the side wire. McNerney picks up on it and punishes him.
Yeah, perfect overhead from McNerney right there.
See McNerney shaking out his shoulder.
It may have hurt, but it was worth it, Mark.
It was definitely worth it. It's a 2-1, Compton McNerney. Deep breath from McNerney. Again, you see Mitchell darting to his right, taking away that right hip. Both his feet in the alley. Oh, great ball from McNerney. Gets the benefit of the let cord, but again, that's that down-up overhead. He's really done a great job of protecting his side wire. And then we go up 3-1 in the breaker.
Oh, my Lord, what touch.
You just can't engage with Durant on those cat and mouse points when he's blitzing you. I mean, you can, but you're going to come in second place. 3-2.
I mean,
Compton McNerney.
unbelievable touch on that shot, Mark. Just
that's-
moving in,
and that's
high
surprising?
speed. No, it doesn't. Well,
It was expected.
it still shocks me how good he is.
Brilliant move from Durant.
Yeah, I thought Compton was in the perfect position, and he just put that ball down so low and soft.
Compton should have thrown up a lob volley and retreated.
Wow.
There's a forehand volley from Mitchell. And only because he's on the other side of the court.
Yeah, in Short Hills we saw Durant staying on the right side, letting Mitchell hit a lot of overheads, Mark.
Not tonight.
Not tonight.
Mitchell's hit a bare handful of overheads. Actually, Durant's hit 90% of them.
Wow.
Durant shakes his head. Mitchell with some positive energy. 4-2. That was a shocking miss. That one I'm shocked by, Patty.
Is it 2-4, Mark, or 4-2? Sorry.
2-4.
Thank you.
Serving 4. Oh, that's a questionable swing at best from Compton there.
Yeah, he just got the volley error from Durant. You don't get too many of those, and just pressed a little too much right there.
4-3. Durant misses a return. I love challenging him there on a big serve with McNerney at the net. I think that's a great strategy. Getting so few swings. hard to get any rhythm. Great return from Mitchell. Okay, it's like we said earlier, Patty, they're going to have to take it. Durant's made some mistakes in this breaker, but I don't expect to see any more in some of these big points. Although, interestingly enough, Mitchell's hitting a lot of overheads at this point. And there they switch in the backcourt. That's interesting. We haven't seen any of that today. Shout out to the ENET production crew led by John Scott. Done a great job this weekend. Jerry Vion, Ann Waldron. Everybody associated with the live streaming. Jackie Cameron, tour director. Karen Edgelek. Durant again calls wide and is correct. And McNerney cannot believe he misses that lob wide. So that's...
That was Durant who said bounce it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, normally that's an absolute no-no. You have no angle to know if that ball's going wide or not. You never warn your partner off the ball on the wide side, correct?
Not often, Mark.
But if you're Johan Durant, the rules don't apply. 4-5 as they climb back in it. Okay, Stephen Mitchell to serve. 4-5 in the breaker. Big forehand. Compton got the net. That hasn't done him a heck of a lot of good of late.
But I think at this point in the match, in the tiebreaker, I want the net if I'm Compton McNerney. Now.
Every point they've had it, they've kind of given it up almost willingly. And there, the lob is good. Great get from Mitchell off the nick. Oh, great blitz from Compton. Now they've got the net. What are they going to do with it?
Be careful.
Great overhead there from Compton.
It's still Johan over there.
Oh, what a dig from Durant. He was beat, absolutely beat. He just flicked his paddle at the ball. 5 all.
Oh my.
Thought McNerney had hit a brilliant overhead, potential winner. But once again, Durant has the answer. There he tried the high one. gets out of the way.
How'd that work out, Mark?
And it takes us to match point.
That's the danger.
Not challenging Durant here. And there it is, misses the lob wide, and it's game, set, and match. Durant Mitchell, 6-3, 7-5. Patty, closing thoughts?
What a heartbreaker for Compton McNerney. They came out here with a great plan. I thought they dictated play throughout the entire match, Mark. Just came up a little short, just failed to capitalize when they had the opportunity. Up 5-3, 2 set points. And all of a sudden, Durant Mitchell took over.
What are your thoughts on the semis tomorrow? We're going to have Durant Mitchell, Hughes Powers, Burish Urdoya, Fraser Morgan.
I say get here early and get good seats because it's going to be incredible. If you're anywhere near Long Island, come out and watch. Otherwise, tune in to ENET all day. Men's semis, women's finals, men's finals. Going to be a spectacular day from Huntington Country Club.
And how about the women's final? What's your pick for tomorrow?
Well, going into the tournament, a lot of people were hoping for the dream matchup of you see Floor and Anna Zabori, seeing if they can finish an undefeated season. And then you have Roxy Anika and Gabby Nicolescu pairing up and peaking at seemingly the right time of the year. So fireworks are going to happen out here tomorrow starting at 11 o'clock or whenever the women's final takes place.
So that's your prediction, fireworks?
Fireworks.
Okay, well, we'll be back at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning with the men's semifinals. And that's all for tonight. It's a wrap right here on the APTA YouTube channel presented by ENET Live.
Thanks, Mark.